farmers seeing lower prices here than what we've had the last few years. Talking at this forum about innovation in agriculture, tougher times may force farmers to look for new efficiencies?
Yeah, whether you're in a business of manufacturing or farming and you do your studying your budget and you say this doesn't work out very well, then you ask the question, is there any way I can increase revenue? Is there any way I can decrease cost? And you go line by line, you go through everything carefully, and it's in those times that people are most open to change and most open to trying new things. And so I think when we look at better utilization of the fertilizer dollar, better utilization of some of the tools available in precision ag, I think a bit of a tougher time will force more and more people to take a good hard look at tools that might be available.
So what's the low-hanging fruit at this point in terms of what's easiest for farmers to implement?
And I expect most Canadian farmers are pretty careful with this, but I'll speak in the U.S. There's a tremendous number of farmers that still don't even do soil sampling, that still they just sort of guess the amount of fertilizer they put on the crop. And so I think that's one of the single biggest factors for those who are not even paying any attention to that area. I expect that's not the case in Western Canada, but we're seeing a lot more split application of fertilizer as well. In fact, we've developed a little product called a stream bar that instead of spraying on nitrogen, it dribbles it on. And we have a number of people that are using that now, and they're telling us they're seeing an increase in their wheat yields, soybean corn yields by doing mid-season application of some nitrogen that they hadn't done previously. And
so those would be steps of where we're applying our nutrients closer to where the plants actually need them, reducing losses.
Yeah, and the timing of the application. Yeah, I did make the statement in the presentation. I think we're going to see very little fall application of fertilizer in the future as the tools become more available for putting it on at the time of seeding, and then the split application, mid-season application of fertilizer.
We're hearing lots of discussion about data and opportunities for networking and connecting, I guess, our machines with our offices at home and every aspect of our business. Do you see that as one of the new frontiers, or what kind of opportunities are in data?
I see that definitely happening on large farms. If I'm a smaller farmer and I just have really good control of all the decision making and all of my information, it may not be as applicable. But let's say in Russia we're dealing with a 1 million acre farm where there's 230 air seeders running at the same time, because there's one customer in Kazakhstan that runs 230 air seeders. He has no idea how fast they're driving, whether they're planting at the right depth, whether they're putting on the right amount of material, or whether they're planting in the right field. And with big data and cloud computing, we can dial in on every one of those factors. We can determine how much material is going on in each square meter of the ground, and determine that they're planting at the right speed and at the right depth. And so that, and that would be available for an individual farm. Anybody who just simply wants to know the flow of material I'm putting on in each space of the field, and so there's no question it's going to be cheaper and cheaper. Both the tools and the data. The data is almost free today.
That's probably the biggest change.
It is
over the last few decades. Yeah. Is the cost of storing.
It is, and then just the software when you went from SQL to NoSQL, that just the interactive nature of solving a problem. What Google does just so quickly today. Just even 6-7 years ago, doing a search on a matter would have taken an enormous amount of time versus today. And so we have virtually everything available to us immediately at virtually no cost.
So then combining that with the idea of applying our nutrients closer to when the plants need them, do you see equipment continuing to adapt in that way and farmers investing in equipment along those lines?
Yeah, my couple dreams I have, the ideal would be able to have in real time a 24-inch soil sample that you get the NPK and whatever micronutrients you need at various depths, and immediately send that information to an air seeder that may have 3 bins for various fertilizer, varying the rates of fertilizer based on what is needed at that point in time, all in real time. That may or may not ever happen, but that's what I think about, dream about. And there are some tools, spectrometers, that can measure pretty accurately. They're expensive, and so to do it in real time in the ground, there are people that have spent a fair bit of money on this and have hit a dead end, but I do believe it's going to happen someday.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Howard.
Welcome.